All right, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to History Makes Baseball from the Epic Sports Broadcasting Network. My name is Dave Little, and I am coming to you live from the Dave. Actually, this is not live. I am recording from the Dave Cave with action from round 2 of the Best Team I've Ever Seen tournament. It's the opening game of a best-of-3 game series pitting the 2005 Los Angeles Angels against the 1998 Baltimore Orioles. Both these teams were extended to 3 games in their opening round series, but both teams had strong performances from their starters in Game 3, so the bullpens are fresh and rested and ready to go. Your starting pitchers for tonight for the visiting Angels, it will be Jarrod Washburn, who had a fine season in 2005 with an 8-8 record and an ERA of 3.20. Starting for Baltimore, not so much. Sidney Ponson went 8-9 with a 5.27 ERA. The Angels won 95 games in 2005. They are the second seed overall in the American League bracket. And they had a 2 out of 3 win over the 2002 Cleveland Indians to get here. The Orioles defeated the Minnesota Twins from 1998, also in a 3-game set. Your hot batters for tonight, for the Angels, Juan Rivera, who went 3 for 4 with 4 runs batted in that deciding game against Cleveland. And for the Orioles, it will be Lenny Webster, who had a 3-hit night in the series finale against Minnesota. The cold guys tonight are both Andersons. Garrett Anderson for the Angels and Brady Anderson for the Orioles. Both teams come in at semi-harmonious. There will be an added bonus thanks to the manager charts for the Angels that leadoff hitter Sean Figgins will have the patient quality added to his card throughout the night. No benefits for the Orioles tonight, so the Angels have the better seed, which means they are the road team in Game 1 and the home team for Game 2 and, if necessary, Game 3. The Angels have the better pitching matchup. The Angels have the bonus. So everything is looking angelic here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards this evening. That's our particulars for tonight's game. Your umpires tonight at home plate will be the one and only Utah Mike. Umpiring first base will be Devin O.G., the original Grognard himself. Al Wilson, a Play.com legend, is your second base umpire tonight. And my good friend D. Scott Howard umpires at third. It's a solid crew. 2 respected umpires and 1 semi-respected. Now let's take a look at your starting lineups. For the visiting Angels, leading off the third baseman, Sean Figgins. Batting second, the second baseman, Adam Kennedy. Vladimir Guerrero bats third and plays right field. Left fielder Garrett Anderson is your cleanup hitter. Benji Molina is catching and batting fifth. Batting sixth, first baseman Darren Erstad. Batting seventh, the DH, and the hot hitter tonight for the Angels, Juan Rivera. Batting eighth and playing shortstop, Orlando Cabrera. Batting ninth, the center fielder, Steve Finley. For the homestanding Baltimore Orioles, Roberto Alomar will be your leadoff hitter playing second base. Batting second, the first baseman, Rafael Palmeiro. Batting third, the third baseman tonight, Cal Ripken Jr. Batting fourth, the designated hitter and Hall of Famer, Harold Baines. My favorite baseball player ever, Eric Davis, late in his career, is playing right field for Baltimore tonight. And batting fifth, the number 6 hole hitter is the catcher Lenny Webster. B.J. Surhoff bats seventh and plays left field. The shortstop batting eighth is Mike Bordick. Batting ninth and playing center field is Brady Anderson. The ball players are set. The starting pitchers for Los Angeles, Jarrod Washburn, and for the Orioles, Sidney Ponson. Ponson has finished his warm-ups, and Sean Figgins is digging in at home plate, and we are ready to go. I have changed some settings on the XSplit, moved the active recording video from the CPU over to the GPU, and we will see if this prevents some of the skips and jumps that we have had in our recent recordings. We'll give this a try, and if that works out, we may try again to do this live in the near future. But for now, we are recording we're recording from the Dave Cave. We hope you enjoy tonight's broadcast. Be sure to like and subscribe. As Sean Figgins digs in and we have our opening roll of the game. The pitch from Ponson is a 2-3-3. Is Ponson an ace or a star? No, indeed. He is a semi-struggler. Is Figgins a slugger? No, he is a semi-scrapper. So the result of that will be a fly out to center field to open the ball game. So Ponson gets the first out of the inning as Brady Anderson moves under that ball and makes the easy catch. Batting second will be Adam Kennedy, left-handed hitting second base. He is a hero and a semi-scrapper. And the pitch is a 3-4-6. Nothing in the pitcher's column. Is the batter eager? He is semi-eager, but the decider die says no. And the result of that roll will be a base on balls, and an active runner will steal. Kennedy is semi-active, and the roll of the decider die says no, so he will not get the automatic steal. But he does get the base on balls. And we do have the opportunity to see if Kennedy might try to steal. The catcher for the Orioles tonight is Lenny Webster. He is a neutral fielder. Kennedy is a semi-active runner. We've already determined that he's not an active runner, so he would need to get his lead and a roll of 1, 2, 3, or 4. But we're going to let Guerrero swing away and consider stealing with 2 outs if Guerrero does not get Kennedy moved around. Guerrero is a semi-champion hitter and a home run king, so we're going to let him swing away with a runner on base and the semi-struggler Sidney Ponson on the mound. The roll from Ponson is a 1-3-4. Do we have a gold catcher? No. Do we have a champion hitter? The decider die says no. And that is going to take us to the outfield drama chart. What will the outfield drama chart bring? The roll is a 2-5. Is the center fielder iron? That's Brady Anderson. And Brady Anderson is indeed an iron fielder, so this is going to be bad for the Orioles. The iron fielder is unable to make the play, so the ball rolls to deep center field for a double. Now the lead roll is 2. Runners advance 1 base on singles, 2 bases on doubles. Active runners score from first base on doubles, but we determined with the previous decider die roll that Kennedy is not active for this base running appearance, and he will pull up at third, which is all well and good with 1 out and 2 more chances to get the run home. So that's in play. That's a double for Guerrero. Kennedy advances to third, and we now have 2 on and 1 man out for your cleanup hitter tonight, Jarrod Anderson. Anderson is the cold guy. However, as a result of that last outfield drama roll, the next roll will take place on the team chemistry chart. Both teams come into tonight's game semi-harmonious. Let's see what happens. The roll is 2-6. Do we have batting team harmony? Unfortunately, the decider die says no. That's going to be a ground out to second base. That should, however, score the run on a lead die of 2. Let's check the base running rules. Runners on second and third. A lead die of 2. Out at first, runners advance. So the result from Jarrod Anderson is the dreaded RBI ground out. So that's a ground out. We'll score it 4-3. Kennedy scores and Guerrero moves to third. And the Angels score the first run of the game. And with 2 outs, and now Guerrero perched at third base, the batter will be the catcher, Benji Molina. Molina is a full hero and a semi-home run king. The pitch from Ponson is a 5.66. Is Ponson wild? No. Does Molina have a good eye? No. That's going to be a strikeout to end the inning. So Benji Molina swung at ball 3 and leaves the runner at third, but the Angels do push a run across in the top of the first, and after 1/2 an inning, it's the Angels 1 and the Orioles coming to bat. Coming to bat will be Roberto Alomar to lead things off. And as a result of the last roll, we go to the baseball right now charts. Neither Washburn nor Alomar is hot nor cold. And on a roll of 2-6, do we have a hot pitcher? No. So he does not overpower the batter with the best pitch. Instead, the pitch misses. Boy, I almost got in trouble with the censors the way I stumbled over those words. The pitch misses and is driven into right field for a base hit. So Robbie Alomar leads off the top of the bottom of the first inning with a single. Molina as a catcher is semi-gold, so that's going to cut down the likelihood of a steal for Alomar, and he's going to hold up at first base as Rafael Palmeiro comes to the plate, with Alomar at first and nobody out in the bottom of the first inning. Here's Palmeiro digging in against Washburn. The pitch from Washburn is a 4.46. Is Washburn a star? He is a full star, and that is a ground out to second base. And on a lead die of 4, the runner from first moves to second base. So score the out 4-3. Move Alomar to second. And your batter now with 1 out and a runner in scoring position is Cal Ripken Jr. Cal Ripken Jr. is a semi-hero. And the pitch from Washburn is a 2.56. Is the pitcher a struggler? No. Is the batter a champion or patient? No. That's going to take us to the infield drama chart. Let's see what kind of havoc the infield drama can wreak on the Los Angeles infield. The roll is a 1-3. Is the third baseman iron? Your third baseman tonight is Sean Figgins. His fielding rating is neutral, so he will not bungle the routine grounder. That will be a routine ground ball from third to first. And Alomar is forced to hold at second. So score that 5-3 on the ground out. Alomar holds. And your 2-out batter is the designated hitter, batting lefty, Harold Baines. Baines has one more chance to tie the game if he can get Alomar home here with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. The roll is a 2-4-4. Is Washburn an ace? No. Is Baines a champion? No. Is Baines a whiffer? The decider die says yes, and that's a strikeout. So in the bottom of the first, the Orioles threaten but do not score. And as we head to the top of the second, it remains 1-0 in favor of Los Angeles. Sidney Ponson returning to the mound for the Orioles. The pitch from Ponson is a 1-2-5. Is he a struggler? He is a semi-struggler. The decider die says no. Is Erstad patient? No. Is Erstad a whiffer? Yes, he is, and that's a strikeout. So Erstad makes the first out of the inning, and that brings to the plate for the Angels the hot-hitting Juan Rivera. Rivera, your DH tonight. The pitch from Ponson is a 1-3-4. Do we have a gold catcher? No. Is the batter a champion? No. That's going to take us back to the outfield drama chart. And the roll on the outfield drama chart is a 1-5. Is the left fielder gold? Your left fielder tonight is B.J. Surhoff, and he is neutral in the field. So on a 1-5, he is unable to make the running stab of a sharp drive to left. That's going to fall in for a single, and that will put Juan Rivera on first base as a 1-out base runner. Surhoff, a converted catcher, and not fleet of foot out there in the outfield. And with one out and a runner on first, the result of that last roll will take us to the team chemistry chart. Once again, both teams come into the game semi-harmonious. And the roll on the team chemistry chart is a 2-3. Do we have pitching team harmony? The decider die says yes. A marginal pitch catches the corner, and that goes for a strikeout. So your batter was Orlando Cabrera. That's going to be a strikeout looking. For the second out of the inning, and that brings to the plate Steve Finley with 2 outs and Rivera remaining at first base. The pitch to Finley is a 1-3-6. Is Ponson an ace? No. Is Finley a whiffer? The decider die says yes, and that's going to be a strikeout to end the inning. So no damage for the Angels in the top of the second. But Los Angeles continues to lead 1-0 heading into the bottom of the second. It will be 5, 6, and 7 for the Orioles. Eric Davis, Lenny Webster, and B.J. Surhoff. The pitch to Davis is a 1-1-4. Is Washburn fresh? It's the second inning. He is indeed fresh, and that's going to be a ground out to shortstop. The one-out batter now is Lenny Webster, the hot hitter for the Orioles today. The pitch to Webster is a 2-2-4. Is Washburn pitching at home? No. Is Webster a slugger? No. He is a home run king, but not a slugger. So that will go to a single to right field. Webster trying to get things started with that base hit. He is a stoic runner, not a threat to steal. So your one-out batter with Webster on first base will be the left-handed hitting left fielder B.J. Surhoff. Surhoff standing in against Jarrod Washburn. The pitch is a 1-6-6. Is Washburn a workman? No. Is Surhoff a whiffer? The decider die says no. That's going to be a ground out to third base. And on a lead die of 1, that's going to go as an ending double play. So the Angels go around the horn, 5-4-3. Figgins to Kennedy to Erstad. And that ends the bottom of the second inning. Top of the third now, Sean Figgins to lead things off, as that takes us to our player experience chart after the double play. Sidney Ponson is a full prospect. Sean Figgins is a semi-prospect. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. The roll is a 1-6. Do we have an icon pitcher? No. So he does not fool the batter into swinging in an inside pitch. And instead the batter connects and delivers a single to the outfield. So that's a leadoff single for Sean Figgins. And he is a full active runner, which means that on a roll of 1-5, assuming he gets his lead, he can steal against the neutral fielding catcher Lenny Webster. So once again, the decider die determines whether the runner gets the lead, and the numeric die delivers the result at second base. We get the lead, and on a roll of 2, Sean Figgins steals the base. That puts Figgins in scoring position now for the number 2 hitter, Adam Kennedy. Kennedy, left-hand batter against righty pitcher. The pitch is a 1-1-3. Is the pitcher an ace or dynamic? No. Is the batter a slugger? No. That's going to go as a single to center field. And on a lead die of 1, an active runner scores from second base on any hit. So Adam Kennedy delivers the RBI single. Score Figgins after the stolen base, and it's a 2-0 ball game. Kennedy is a semi-active runner, so let's see if the Angels can continue the base running parade. He will be a normal runner for this stolen base attempt. But the decider die says he gets his lead, and on a roll of 3, he steals second base. Here come the Los Angeles Angels. Already leading 2-0 with Kennedy at second base. Nobody out, and the dangerous Vladimir Guerrero coming to the plate. Ponson getting a little worked up out there on the mound. The fans here at Camden Yards getting a little restless. The pitch to Vlad is a 1-2-2. Is the pitcher a workman? No. Is the batter a champ? The decider die says no. And the result of that play is a line out to third base. That will be the first out of the inning, and Kennedy will be forced to hold at second as Garrett Anderson comes to the plate for Los Angeles. Anderson is a cold guy here tonight. We'll see if that has any impact on the outcome of this play. The roll is a 3-6-6. Nothing in the pitcher's column. Is this a pinch hit or no? So the result of the play will be a fly out to center field. That's the second out of the inning as Brady Anderson makes a play. Kennedy went halfway but then returned to second base. And with 2 outs, your batter will be Benji Molina, looking to deliver the third run of the game for the Angels. The pitch to Molina is a 1-1-2. Is Ponson a flash? He's a semi-flash, but the decider die says no. Is Molina a sad sack? No, he is not. And the result of this play is going to be a scorer check. A scorer check means that the batter reaches first base, and we have a scoring decision to be made, and on a roll of 4, that will be an error charged to either the shortstop or the third baseman. We'll go odd for the third baseman, even for the shortstop. That is going to be scored on error on the shortstop, Mike Bordick. Charge the fielding error to Bordick. Move Kennedy to third, Molina safe at first. And now with 2 outs and runners on the corners, your batter will be Darren Erstad. Erstad a chance to put some padding on this lead. Ponson visibly shaken by that error, and he wants nothing more than to get out of this inning and back to the dugout. Ponson delivers a 1-1-3. Is he an ace? No. Is the batter a slugger? He is a scrapper. But the result of the play is a single to center field. Kennedy will score. Molina is not a fast base runner. He is a full stoic, so he will stop at second base. And we now have runners on first and second. The third run of the game has scored, and it's a 3-0 ball game. All right, let's take stock of where we are game-wise. Single for Erstad, single for Molina before that. Before that, we had a flyout from the bat of Garrett Anderson. So Ponson is not yet a full struggler. He is a semi-struggler by virtue of his card rating. Juan Rivera is your batter, and he's the hot guy. And the roll is a 2-3-3. Is the pitcher an ace or a star? No. Is the batter a slugger? He is a semi-slugger. The decider die says yes, and that is a deep fly ball to left field. It is far, it is deep, and it is gone. A 3-run home run for Juan Rivera, and the Angels have busted open this ball game. Rivera was the hot guy, and he got hold of a Sidney Ponson fastball and deposited that boy into the left center field seats. And it is now a 5-0 ball game in favor of the Los Angeles Angels. And now the fans here at Camden Yards are very unhappy, and Sidney Ponson is very unhappy as well. He has given up 5 runs in an inning, and according to my homebrewed rules, which I have stolen from Stratomatic, that means Ponson is a full struggler for the rest of the ball game. And under normal circumstances, we would pull him at this point in the game. Since this is tournament play, there's a temptation to leave him out there to for the team at least for the full 5 innings, and save some bullpen help for later in the series. But the fact remains that in order to win this game now, the best thing to do is change the pitchers. It's only the 3rd inning, and the Orioles have plenty of chances to get back into this one if they don't decide to let it go. So I am going to do, what would Dave do in tournament play? Dave would pull Ponson and probably go to the bullpen. Because the idea in tournament play is win every game at every opportunity, and don't sandbag hoping that better things will come along later. So Ponson comes out of the game after 2 2/3 innings, giving up 6 runs on 6 hits. We'll check in later to determine the earned runs. There was an error in that sequence somewhere, I believe. But our first order of business is to find a reliever for the Orioles. As I mentioned, the Orioles are pretty fresh. The only player who is limited is Pete Smith. He can go 2/3 of an inning. The rest of the bullpen is fully fresh. Norm Charlton is a full struggler and a full workman. He might be the rag arm to send out in this situation because the remaining bullpenners are all semi-stars and would be more useful in future situations. So it will be Norm Charlton coming into the game for the Orioles. So Ponson comes out. He will be replaced by Norm Charlton. And with the announcement of Norm Charlton coming to the mound for the Orioles, a full struggler and a full workman, a fight has just broken out at the bat rack as everybody wants a piece of Norm Charlton. Orlando Cabrera will be your leadoff hitter facing Charlton. Charlton will get the full ace quality for the first batter he faces in the middle of the inning. So the pitch to Cabrera is a 1-1-6. Is the pitcher fresh? Yes, he is. That's a strikeout. So Norm Charlton gets the third out of the inning, but the damage is done. And your score through 2 1/2 innings is the Los Angeles Angels 6 and the Baltimore Orioles nothing. Jarrod Washburn comes out for the Angels now, and he's in the catbird seat, and things are looking good for the Orioles now. Washburn is a full star. He's still fresh. The Angels have pretty much everybody they need in the bullpen for at least 2 innings worth of work. So hopefully Washburn can mow through the Orioles here and take the Angels back to California with a 1-0 lead and a chance to close out the series. Mike Bordick is your leadoff hitter of the inning. And the pitch from Washburn is a 1-1-5. Is Washburn fresh? Yes, he is. That is going to be a pop out to the third baseman Figgins for the first out of the inning. So Bordick is retired. Brady Anderson comes to the plate. Lefty against left-hand batter. Anderson is your cold guy for today. And the roll is a 6-6-6. Is the pitch an ace? No. Is the batter a sad sack? No. That's going to be a deep drive and a glove check. So Brady Anderson gets hold of one, and he hits that ball deep. Anderson is a semi-slugger, but the decider die says no, so we are going to take this from the normal batter fence check. And on a roll of 5, that ball is off the top of the wall, and it's going to go for a triple. Brady Anderson hit off the top of the wall for a triple. He moves into third base with 1 man out, and Roberto Alomar is at the plate for the top of the order. Infield's going to play back. They'll trade a run for an out with a 6-run lead in this situation. And the roll from Washburn is a 3-4-6. Nothing in the pitcher's column. Is the batter eager? No. That's going to go for a base on balls. So Washburn not doing himself any favors here in the bottom of the third. His ball club has staked him to a 6-run lead, and he has immediately put 2 runners on base with only 1 out, and the very dangerous Rafael Palmeiro coming to the plate. The pitch to Palmeiro is a 4-4-5. Is the pitcher a workman? No. Is the batter patient? He is semi-patient, but the decider die says no. And the result of this play is going to be a ground out to base. And with a lead die of 4, the runners will advance. So Anderson scores. Alomar moves to second. Credit Paul Merrill with the dreaded RBI ground out. We'll score that unassisted. Brady Anderson scores from third. Roberto Alomar moves to second. And it is a 6-1 ball game now with 2 outs in the inning, and Cal Ripken Jr. coming to the plate. Ripken stands in against Washburn. The roll is a 1-3-4. Do we have a gold catcher? No. Actually, Molina is a really good catcher. He's semi-gold, and the decider die says yes. So by virtue of the fact of having a gold catcher, that's going to go as a strikeout. Call that one a strikeout looking, and that gets Washburn out of the inning, maintaining a 6-1 lead now as we head to the top of the 4th. Charlton's going to stay out there, and by Stratomatic, let's see, in game 2, Charlton went 1/3 of an inning. You can go 4 innings over a 4-game span, so he can go 3 2/3. So he can go another 3 innings if he wants to, and you may as well burn him because he's the least likely pitcher you're going to want to need later in the series. So let's see what Charlton can do now. He will be semi-fresh this inning as the number 9 hitter Steve Finley steps in to lead off for the Angels. The pitch is a 2-4-6. Is Charlton a control pitcher? No. Is Finley eager or a sad sack? He is semi-eager, but the decider die says no. And on the roll of 2-4-6, that is going to go as a base of balls. So Charlton is not doing his mates any favors as he puts the first runner on base, and that brings up the hot hitter Sean Figgins. Figgins with a fly out and a single in his first 2 plate appearances. And the pitch from Charlton is a 3-3-4. Is he an ace or a star? None of the above. Is Figgins a sad sack? No. That's going to be a single to left field. And with a die of 3, that's a 2-base advance for Finley, as that ball was hit over the head of Bordick and into left center, allowing Finley to scurry on over to third base. And Charlton is yet to retire a batter here in the top of the 4th as Adam Kennedy steps in. Kennedy got a big single his last at bat. 1 for 1 with a walk. Stepping in against Charlton. The pitch is a 1-4-6. Is Charlton a flash? He is a full flash, and that's going to go as a strikeout. So that helps Charlton's efforts as the runners are forced to hold. And with 1 out now, if Charlton can get a double play off the bat of Vladimir Guerrero, he can escape this inning without any damage. Infield is back all the way around as Charlton winds and delivers a 2-3-6. Is he a double control or dynamic? No. Is this a pitcher batting? No. And the result of a 2-3-6 is going to be another base on balls. Charlton having trouble finding the plate. And that is not helping the Orioles' causes. They need innings out of Charlton. And with the bases loaded now, 1 man out, your batter is Garrett Anderson. He is the cold guy for the Angels today. And the roll is a 3-4-5. Do we have an iron catcher? No. Does the batter have a good eye? No. And that is going to be a strikeout. How about that? Charlton rears back and blows away Garrett Anderson with a big strikeout. And the second out of the inning as the runners hold. And with that strikeout, we go to the baseball right now chart. Benji Molina is your batter. His last at bat, he reached on an error, so he is neither hot nor cold. On the basis of that strikeout, Charlton is in the 4th inning semi-hot. So a neutral batter, a semi-hot pitcher. And the result of the right now chart is a 2-4. Do we have a hot batter? No. So he does not deliver a bloop single over shortstop. Instead, that one will hold up and B.J. Surhoff will run under it and make the play. A harmless fly out to left field ends the inning for the Angels, who threaten but do not score. So Charlton danced off the hook in the top of the 4th. We go to the bottom of the 4th now. The lead remains 6-1. as the Orioles look to see if they can chip away some more here against Jarrod Washburn in the bottom of the fourth. Washburn now semi-fresh. Leadoff is Harold Baines, and the roll is a 2.55. Is the pitcher a star? Yes, he is, and that's a strikeout. That brings Eric Davis to the plate. Davis 0 for 1 with a ground out. Davis swings and delivers 1-2-3. Is the pitcher both flash and fresh? He is not flash. Nothing in the batter's column. And the result is going to be a ground out to shortstop. And with 2 outs, your batter will be Lenny Webster. Orioles fans trying to drum up some interest in the game. But Washburn is poised on the mound and hoping to get out of this inning in 1-2-3 fashion. The pitch from Washburn is a 2.35. Is the pitcher wild? No. Is the batter eager? He is a full eager hitter. Is the batter a whiffer? He is a semi-whiffer. He is a full whiffer by result of the die. And instead of a single through shortstop, that's going to be a strikeout. And that is going to get Washburn out of the fourth inning unscathed. Clean inning for Washburn. Charlton comes back to the mound for his second full inning of work. Charlton pitched a third of an inning in the third, pitched the fourth, and now he is no longer fresh nor semi-fresh coming into the fifth inning. But he's just out there to eat up innings and keep it close for the Orioles. Darren Erstad, your leadoff hitter. The roll is a 2.25. Is the pitcher a star? No. Is the batter a slugger or a sad sack? No. And the result is a single to center field. Leadoff single for Erstad, which brings to the plate Juan Rivera. Rivera is your hot hitter for the game. Has singled and homered. He hit the big 3-run shot that busted this game open. The pitch to Rivera is a 2.55. Is the pitcher a star? No. Is the batter a home run king? He is a semi-home run king, but in this case the decider die says no. He will not get all of this one, and that is going to be a warning track fly ball to left field. And it will be B.J. Surhoff moving under that play to make the catch. Erstad returns to first base, and that's your first out of the inning. So the decider die giveth, and in this case the decider die taketh away. Up next is the number 8 hitter, the shortstop, Orlando Cabrera. The pitch from Charlton is a 1.45. Is he a struggler? Yes, he is. That's a wild pitch. That will move Darren Erstad over to second base. Cabrera remains at bat. And the next pitch from Charlton is a 2.36. Is he a double control or dynamic? No. Is this a pitcher batting? No. And the result of this roll is a base on balls. So that puts 2 on now for the left-handed batting number 9 hitter Steve Finley. Norm Charlton desperately struggling out there. He is at the end of his career, and he is not the stellar performer he was throughout the early 90s. The pitch from Charlton is a 2.25. Is he a star? No. Is the batter a slugger or a sad sack? He is a semi-slugger, but the decider die says no, and the result of that is going to be a single to center field. Let's see, the runner Erstad on second is neutral. There are 2 outs, and on a lead die of 2, an active runner will score from second on a hit. A neutral runner will advance just 1 base. So that's a single, and that loads the bases. And let's see, we had a fly out in there, so, well, Charlton's a struggler anyway, so the struggler status doesn't really matter in terms of his fatigue rating. But I'm going to play this strat style, and if Charlton gives up 5 runs in an inning, he's going to get pulled. This will probably be his last inning of work anyhow. Sean Figgins is your batter with 1 out and the bases loaded. Infield back all around. The pitch is a 5.66. Is Charlton wild? He is semi-wild, but the decider die says no. That saves a walk. Is the batter a good eye? No. And the result of that play is a strikeout. Figgins caught looking. And that's another break for Charlton as the runners are forced to hold. And now with 2 men out, it will be Adam Kennedy at the plate as we go to the baseball right now chart. Charlton is now a hot pitcher by virtue of that strikeout. Kennedy struck out his last time up, so he is a cold batter. And let's see, this is the 5th inning of the game. So these are actually semi-qualities. So Charlton is semi-hot, Kennedy is semi-cold. And on a roll of 3-5, do we have a hot batter? No. So he's going to fly out to left field. So for the 2nd inning in a row, Charlton has loaded the bases but prevented the Angels from scoring. How about that, baseball fans? We go to the bottom of the 5th, and it's still a 6-1 ball game. Jarrod Washburn is on the mound for his 5th inning of work. He remains semi-fresh. And the first pitch of the inning to B.J. Surhoff is a 3-6-6. Nothing on the pitcher's column. Is this a pinch hit or no? And the result is a fly out to center field. 1 out now for the shortstop, Mike Bordick. Stepping in against Jarrod Washburn. Fine performance by Washburn so far, and this pitch is a 2-2-3. Is Washburn wild? No. Is Bordick a slugger or utility? No. The result of that play is a single to left field. So Bordick tries to get something going as the cold batting left-handed center fielder Brady Anderson comes to the plate. Anderson faces Washburn. The pitch from Washburn is a 1-4-5. Is Washburn a struggler? No. Nothing in the batter's column. So the result of this play is a ground out to first base. And with a lead die of 1, that is going to be an ending double play. We'll call that a 3-6-3 job. Bordick is forced out at second base, and that's a double play to end the inning. So a stellar first 5 innings for Jarrod Washburn. Just 1 run surrendered so far in 4 innings. So do we bring Charlton out for his 3rd inning of work? This would actually make 3 1/3 innings, and that would effectively burn Charlton for the rest of the series. And quite honestly, with 4, 5, and 6 coming up, I think Charlton has we're going to go to the decider die. If we get the pip, we make the move. If we leave it blank, Charlton stays in the game. And it is blank, so Charlton will stay in the game to face the heart of the order. He has been dodging bullets so far in this game. Let's see if he can dodge the heart of the order here for the Angels, with the first pitch being a 3-4-5. Do we have an iron catcher? We have a neutral catcher. Does the batter have a good eye? No. And the result of that is a strikeout. So Charlton gets Vladimir Guerrero swinging to strike out in the leading off the top of the 6th here. And that is going to take us to the baseball right now chart with Garrett Anderson at bat. Anderson is your designated cold batter for the game. We're in the 6th inning now, so Charlton is a fully hot pitcher. So that's a break for Charlton, and on a roll of 5-6, do we have a hot pitcher? Yes, we do, and he shows his best stuff. Retires the side, alternating ground outs and shallow fly outs. So how about that? Is that decider die a genius or what? We left Charlton out there for his 3rd inning of work, and he retires the heart of the lineup in order. So that will be a ground out to Anderson, and we'll score that 3 unassisted. And Benji Molina, your next hitter, will be retired on a shallow fly ball to left field. So give it up for Norm Charlton. 3 1/3 innings of shutout baseball. Unfortunately, the Orioles offense has not taken advantage of the opportunity to get back into the ball game, and Washburn returns to the mound still with a 5-run lead as we go to the bottom of the 6th. It'll be the top of the order for the Orioles: Alomar, Palmeiro, and Ripken. The pitch to Alomar is a 1-3-6. Is Washburn an ace? No. Is Alomar a whiffer or cold? Let's see. He walked his last at bat, so he is not cold. He's a semi-whiffer, but the decider die says no, so that will not be a strikeout, and instead that is going to take us to the infield drama chart. Let's see what's happening in the Angels infield. The roll is a 3-5. Is the third baseman iron? Your third baseman tonight for California is Sean Figgins, and his fielding rating is actually semi-gold. So he is not iron, and the result of that play is a routine groundout. Figgins makes the hard play look easy for the first out of the inning. So Alomar is retired, and it's Rafael Palmeiro headed to the plate. Palmeiro facing off against Jarrod Washburn. The pitch from Washburn is a 2-3-5. Is Washburn wild? No. Is Palmeiro eager? No. And the end result is a ground out to second. Washburn continues his stellar work on the mound. And now Cal Ripken Jr. will be your batter, with 2 out and the bases empty. The pitch to Ripken is a 2-3-5. Is Washburn wild? No. Is Ripken eager? No. That's another ground out to second base, and the bottom of the 6th inning ends without a whimper. All right, so through 6 innings complete, the score remains Los Angeles 6 and Baltimore 1. And fans, we are now joined by my favorite Bishopoo. Say hello to Casey. Casey was named by his previous owners at the rescue farm, but I love the name Casey because it's a great baseball name. My dog I'm kind of neutral on. He's a bit of a brat. He is spoiled rotten, but he is entertaining as all get out. So we love having him around in spite of his ill manners. It is 8:15 here, and he has been fed. He's probably due for a trip outside. But we've got 3 innings left here at Camden Yards, and that mutt will have to wait his turn. So we need a replacement pitcher for Norm Charlton. He did his job keeping the Orioles close, if you call 6-1 a close game. Let's see who will the next pitcher be for the Orioles. They've got Benitez, the closer. They're going to save him. They've got Pete Smith, who is a struggler but doesn't have freshness because we burned him up in Game 3 of the previous series. So we're going to save the righty Alan Mills, and we're going to go to the other lefty, Arthur Rhodes, who is a semi-star and a flash. So Charlton leaves the mound, and he will be replaced by the ageless Arthur Rhodes to face 6, 7, and 8 for the Orioles: Erstad, Rivera, and Cabrera. Top of the 7th. Erstad leading off against Arthur Rhodes, and the pitch from Rhodes is a 1-4-6. Is Rhodes a flash? He is a flash, and that is a strikeout. So Rhodes opens the inning by blowing away Aaron Erstad, and that brings Juan Rivera to the plate. The pitch to Rivera is a 2-5-6. Is the pitcher a struggler? No. Is the batter a champion or patient? No. That's going to take us back to our infield drama chart. What's going to happen here? On a roll of 1-2, it is a hit out to shortstop. Your shortstop tonight is Bordick. Is Bordick iron? He is a neutral fielder, so he does not mishandle the ball. He makes the play on the ground out. Actually, is he gold? He is not gold, so he doesn't make the play. and that is going to go instead as a one-base error. Second error of the night for Mike Bordick. So in case I bungled the announcing on that, an iron fielder would have made a two-base throwing error. A gold fielder makes the play for the ground out. Bordick is a neutral fielder, and that goes as a one-base error. So score that in play. Score that another error on Mike Bordick, his second of the night. Rivera holds up at first base. And your one-out batter is the shortstop Orlando Cabrera. Rhodes digging in against Cabrera. The pitch to Cabrera is a 1-3-5, our first 1-3-5 of the night. That takes us to our mini chart rolls, and on a blue one, that takes us to the umpire mini charts. We have a runner on first. So let's see what the mini chart has to say with this motley umpire crew we have assembled here at Camden Yards tonight. The roll is a 1-2. Do we have a strict umpire at second? We've got Al Wilson out there at second. He is neither strict nor lenient. A strict umpire would rule the runner out at second base and the batter out at first for a double play. Other umpires rule the runner safe and the batter out. So the result of that play is a ground ball up the middle. Alomar tried to get the double play. Rivera was ruled safe at second, but they did get the relay throw over to first base in time to retire Cabrera. So that is ultimately going to go as a ground out. It will be scored 4-6-3, but the runner Rivera actually is safe at second base, and Cabrera is out at first. So Al Wilson didn't make the strict call on that play, and that keeps the inning alive for Steve Finley, with Rivera now at second and two men out. Rhodes pitching to Finley. Winds and delivers a 4-4-6. Is Rhodes a star? He is a semi-star, but the decider die says no. Is the batter sad sack, utility, or patient? He is semi-utility. The decider die again says no. So that will not be a called third strike, and the result instead is a single to right field. And with a lead die of 4, the runner advances 2 bases. So that will score the run. So it's in play. It's a single for Finley. And with 2 outs, Rivera makes it home. Finley holds it first, and it's now a 7-1 ball game. Bringing to the plate Sean Figgins. The pitch from Rhodes is a 1-2-2. Is Rhodes a workman? No. Is Figgins a champ or a whiffer? He is a semi-whiffer. The decider die says no. That's going to be a line drive to third base, and that will end the inning. So we go to the 7th inning stretch with the score: the Angels 7, the Orioles 1. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and a ukulele so I can do the 7th inning stretch like my hero Steve Tower. Okay, enough of that. Let's get back to the ball game. Harold Baines leads off the 7th against Jarrod Washburn. Washburn still on the mound now, coming into the bottom of the 7th. He is no longer fresh. He is going on duct tape and super glue out there as Baines steps in against Washburn. And Washburn delivers a 5-6-6. Is the pitcher wild? No. Does the batter have a good eye? No. That's going to be a strikeout. So Baines strikes out to lead things off, and that takes us to the baseball right now chart. Washburn is a hot pitcher after the strikeout. Eric Davis is your batter. He's neutral. And on a roll of a 2-4, do we have a hot batter? No. So he is not able to connect on a bloop single over shortstop. Instead, that's going to hold up for Garrett Anderson, who makes the play of the easy fly ball to left field. So that is 2 outs And that brings to the plate Lenny Webster. He is your hot batter. And the pitch from Washburn is a 2-3-5. Is Washburn wild? No. Is Webster eager? He is a full eager batter. Is he a whiffer? He is a semi-whiffer. The decider die says yes, and that's going to be a strikeout. So another 1-2-3 inning for a very impressive Jarrod Washburn. And at the end of 7 innings complete, it is still a 7-1 ball game. What do we do with Arthur Rhodes? Arthur Rhodes has innings to burn. So he will go ahead and pitch another inning in the condition of semi-fresh for Baltimore. He did surrender a run in the 7th. You'd like to see him keep his team close, but the Orioles offense is showing no sign of any movement whatsoever against Jarrod Washburn. Here's Adam Kennedy to lead things off, the number 2 hitter for the Angels. The pitch to Kennedy is a 2-3-6. Is the pitcher double control? No. Is this a pitcher batting? No. That's going to be a base on balls. So Kennedy draws the leadoff walk. Bringing to the plate Vladimir Guerrero for the Angels. The pitch to Guerrero is a 1-2-4. Is Rhodes a control? Surprisingly not in 1998. Is the batter eager? No, he is not. That's going to be another base on balls. So one more consecutive on base would make Rhodes a semi-struggler. And they really want him to get through this inning and save their better bullpen pitchers for later in the series. Garrett Anderson is the lefty, and he is a cold guy. And the pitch from Rhodes is a 1-4-4. Is Rhodes a flash? Yes, he is, and that is a strikeout. That's a strikeout looking. The runners hold. And that brings Benji Molina to the plate with 2 on and now 1 out. Molina would love to do some more damage here. And if nothing else, get the Angels deeper into that Baltimore bullpen for later in the series. The pitch to Molina is a 2-2-4. Is Rhodes pitching at home? Yes, he is. That's going to be a pop out to shortstop. So another good break for the Orioles on the pitching chart. The runners hold. And with 2 outs now, your hitter is the left-handed batting Darren Erstad. Erstad standing in against Rhodes. Rhodes, 2 for 4 tonight. Pair of singles, pair of strikeouts. And on a 2-3-6, is the pitcher double control? No. Is this a pitcher batting? No. That's going to be another base on balls. By virtue of the out, Rhodes is not a struggler. But Juan Rivera is the hot hitter. And he can once again bust things even further open for the Angels if he can get hold of one here against Arthur Rhodes. The pitch from Rhodes is a 3-4-6. Nothing on the pitcher column. Is the batter eager? No. He's semi-eager, but the decider die says no. That is going to be a bases-loaded walk. And that is the last thing that the Angels needed. That's going to make it an 8-1 ball game. And that is going to be the end of Arthur Rhodes' night. Rhodes could not do what Charlton did before him. And they are going to have to go to one of their bullpen righties. Pete Smith is spent, and it's going to be Alan Mills coming into the ball game to replace Arthur Rhodes. Let's see. So Cabrera walks. Excuse me, no, that walk was issued to Rivera, and I believe we already recorded that. Yes, we did. Rivera walked to score Kennedy. So we are going to go straight to the pitching change and bring in Alan Mills. With the bases loaded, still 2 out. Orlando Cabrera is your hitter. Mills a semi-star, semi-flash, semi-wild. He does have the ace quality for this at bat only. And the pitch to Cabrera is a 1-2-6. Is the pitcher fresh? Yes, he is. That's a line out to second base to end the inning. So Mills is able to come in and escape further damage, but another run scores, and it is now an 8-1 ball game. And the Angels are going to continue to ride the hot hand of Jarrod Washburn on the mound, heading into the bottom of the 8th. A fine outing for Washburn regardless of what happens now. B.J. Surhoff is your leadoff hitter, the number 7 batter, and the first pitch from Washburn is a 2-4-6. Is he a control? He is a semi-control. The decider die says yes, and that is a comebacker to Washburn for the first out of the inning. Brings to the plate Mike Bordick. It has been a rough night for Bordick. He's 1 for 2 at the plate, but he has made 2 errors in the field. Standing in against Washburn. The pitch is a 1-3-3. Nothing in the pitcher's column. Is the batter a slugger? No. And the result is a fly out to left field. And with 2 outs and nobody on base, the batter is the left-handed hitting Brady Anderson. And just for fun, let's bring off somebody from the bench. Anderson is cold. He's a lefty-lefty matchup. We've got other folks who can play the outfield. Let's bring in the right-handed batting Jeffrey Hammonds. I start Anderson because he has the solid star, which means he has the most at bats. Hammonds is an empty star. I think the cutoff for that is like I've got the cutoff right here in the player creation notes. If you have a usage rate of player usage 95 or more games is the criteria for a filled-in star symbol, and 50 to 94 games for the outline star. So as much as I can, I try to use the full-time players as the starters, which is why Hammond got the start in center field over Jeffrey Hammonds. But in this situation, why not go to the righty? Jeffrey Hammonds comes to the plate, and we'll leave him in the game in the 9th inning to play center field. The pitch to Hammonds is a 2-3-5. Is Washburn wild? No. Is Hammonds eager? No. That's going to be a ground out to second base. So Hammonds doesn't do anything that his teammates hadn't already done, which is making out against Jarrod Washburn. And Washburn is now through 8. Actually, that was a ground out. So that should be a quick 4-3 on the play. And going to the outfield, Anderson will be replaced by Jeffrey Hammonds. Alan Mills will remain in the game to pitch the top of the 9th as the Angels come to the plate for what they hope will be the final time. The lead is 8-1. Steve Finley is your leadoff batter. And the pitch from Mills is a 2-4-4. Is Mills an ace? Not now. Is Finley a champion? No, sir. Is he a whiffer? The decider die says no. So the result of the 2-4-4 is going to be a ground out to shortstop. Finley tried to take that one the other way, but Mike Bordick this time got over and made the play for the first out of the inning. And that brings to the plate Sean Figgins. Figgins standing in against Alan Mills, the rolls of 4-5-6. Nothing in the pitcher's column. Is the batter patient? And if you will recall from the beginning of the game, Figgins got a manager perk, so he is patient, and that will be a walk. Figgins draws the 1-out walk, bringing Adam Kennedy to the plate. Kennedy 1 for 3 with a single and a pair of walks. Standing in against Alan Mills. The pitch now is a 2-4-5. Nothing in the pitcher's column. Is the batter a hero? He is a full hero, and that is a single to left. I'm not even going to look at the charts on this one. As with a lead this big, Figgins is just going to pull into second and hold there. No reason for any base running over aggressiveness with a 7-run lead in the top of the ninth. That brings Vlad Guerrero to the plate. Guerrero against Mills. The pitch is a 4.66. Is Mills a control pitcher? No. Is Vlad Guerrero a home run king? Yes, and that is a strikeout. How about that? Home run king or slugger is a strikeout. If he's not a home run king or a slugger, it was a difficult ground out. So Guerrero was up there swinging for the fences, and he connected on nothing but air. That's a strikeout swinging, and that's the second out of the inning. The runners will hold, and your 2-out batter now will be Garrett Anderson. Still your cold guy for the day. The roll is a 1-2-5. Is Mills a struggler? No. Is Anderson patient? No. Is he a whiffer? He's a semi-whiffer. The decider die says yes, and that will be a strikeout to end the inning. So Mills pitches a scoreless ninth. But as we go to the bottom of the ninth, it remains an 8-1 ball game with the Angels on top, and Jarrod Washburn headed to the mound in hopes of finishing what he started. But he's going to have to go through the top of the order: Alomar, Palmeiro, and Ripken. The pitch to Alomar is a 5.56. Is Washburn an ace? No. Is Alomar a sad sack? No. That's going to be a double to right field. So Alomar doubles to lead things off. 7 to tie, 8 to lead. 8 to win here in the bottom of the ninth. A little bit of stirring in the Angels bullpen, but it's not time to worry yet. As Rafael Palmeiro steps in. The pitch to Palmeiro is a 3.46. Nothing in the pitcher's column. Is the batter eager? No. That's going to be a base on balls. So Washburn showing some signs of fatigue here. And your batter with 2 on and nobody out is Cal Ripken Jr. And that's going to take us to the team chemistry chart. Both teams checking in tonight at semi-harmonious. And on a 1-5, do we have pitching team harmony? The decider die says yes. And the outfielder makes a diving grab of a looping liner for the out. And we'll call that center field. So Steve Finley swoops in and catches that ball just before it hits the ground for the first out of the inning. Fine play by Finley, who was a fine defensive outfielder throughout his career. Runners went halfway and had to return. And your 1-out batter now will be Harold Baines, as Washburn is tiring but hoping to finish this ball game tonight. Back to the standard batting charts. The roll is a 2.56. Is the pitcher a struggler? No. Is the batter a champion or patient? No. That's going to take us to the infield drama chart. Let's see if the defense can help Washburn in his quest to complete the game here tonight. The roll is a 2.4. Is the second baseman gold? Your second baseman is Adam Kennedy. He is semi-gold, but the decider die says no. So there will not be a highlight reel and snag. Instead, Kennedy bobbles the ball, and the batter will be safe at first on the error. Oh my goodness. So that will be an error. Charge to Kennedy, and everybody will move up a base. And with the bases loaded and 1 out now, Eric Davis is at the plate. And I think it's time to bring in a fresh righty out of the bullpen. Davis, a semi-hero and a semi-champion. He had a late career resurgence with the Orioles in '98 after he missed several seasons due to injuries and health issues. So who's going to come in for the Angels? It's still not a save situation. We have the right-handed batting Davis, followed by the right-handed batting Webster and the lefty Surhoff. So the Angels are going to bring in one of their bullpen righties. And they have plenty of fresh arms to choose from. So they are going to go with the let's see, Esteban Yan and Brendan Donnelly went 2 innings in game 2 of the previous series. So we'll hold them back, and we will come instead with Kevin Gregg, who is yet to pitch in the tournament. He is a full workman, so we'll see if we can sneak him out here to get the last 2 outs of the game. He does have the ace quality against Eric Davis. I may live to regret this, but we'll see what Kevin Gregg can do. The pitch is a 1-4-6. Is the pitcher a flash? He is a semi-flash, and the decider die says yes, and that is a strikeout. So far Kevin Gregg is making me look good. The runners hold up. And your final hope is Lenny Webster. Webster is the hot guy for the Orioles against Kevin Gregg. And the pitch from Gregg is a 2-4-6. Is he a control pitcher? No. Is Webster eager or a sad sack? Webster is a full eager batter, and that is going to be a pop out to third base to end the game. All right, so that is your ball game. The final score: the Los Angeles Angels 8 and the Baltimore Orioles 1. So we will exit the scoring screen, and the starting pitchers are the pitchers of record. Your winning pitcher is Jarrod Washburn, and actually I forgot to bring out Gregg for that final 2/3 of an inning, so I'll have to go back and correct that in the box score. But Washburn does get the victory, and the loss will be pinned on Sidney Ponson for the Orioles. And as we're waiting, we'll give you some channel updates. Coming up, hopefully on Saturday, I'd like to get onto the channel and do some Heartland Championship Wrestling. And on Sunday, potentially another game of History Maker Baseball. And on Mondays, as the new custom is, we will come back with my journey with Jesus. So hopefully you'll hear from the channel 3 times over the next few days. Let's see, the loss is pinned on Sidney Ponson. As far as the batting stars for the Angels, Juan Rivera hit the 3-run homer that broke the game open. So I think he is a good candidate to once again be the hot hitter for the next game for LA, as the series will move to the West Coast. Let's see, lots of guys with 2 hits. Rivera was 2 for 4 with a homer and 4 RBIs. So yeah, Rivera will be your hot hitter for the next game. And the cold guy for the next game will be Garrett Anderson again, who went 0 for 6. My goodness. So we'll have the same hot and cold batters as we did in tonight's game for Los Angeles. For Baltimore, you could make an argument that this whole team ought to be cold batters in the next game. As the Orioles recorded only 5 hits on the night, Roberto Alomar got 2 of those hits, so he'll be the hot guy. And let's see, the cold guy, a bunch of hitless guys. Harold Baines had 2 strikeouts on the 0 for 4 night, so Baines will be the cold guy in game number 2 of the series. The pitching probables for the Angels, it will probably be Bartolo Colon, although Paul Byrd is also available. Heck, we've got it right here in front of us. Colon is a semi-star and a semi-flash. Paul Byrd is a semi-star and double control. But Colon had the higher total of innings pitched. So he will probably be your pitcher in Game 2 of the series. For the Orioles, Scott Erickson will be ready, and he is their best pitcher. He is almost their best pitcher. Mussina will not be ready, but Erickson will be ready. And so it will be Scott Erickson and Bartolo Colon in Game 2 of this series. All right, everybody, that is it for tonight's ball game. Thank you so much for coming out to the Epic Sports Broadcasting Network for this evening's recorded broadcast of History Maker Baseball. Be sure to hit like and be sure to subscribe if you'd like to see more. And be sure to stay tuned for Heartland Championship Wrestling, hopefully Saturday afternoon. History Maker Baseball, hopefully on Sunday. And on Monday, the return of My Journey with Jesus. That's our show, and I am out of here.